Hey guys, congratulations, you got a new job. Now what does that mean? Well, a couple definite things you want to do and a couple definite things you don't want to do your first couple months on the job. So, congratulations on your new position. Now what do you do? Well, you keep doing the things that got you there in the first place. Number one, keep doing the basics right. What are the basics? Showing up on time, dressing appropriately. Those are 1 and 2. Showing up on time. Let's talk about punctuality and when you shouldn't show up for work. You want to figure out what the sort of tempo and rhythm is at your workplace, whether that's an online workplace that you have to show up at every day, or whether that is a actual brick and mortar workplace that you're going to. Figure out what time people in your group typically get there. Figure out when your boss gets there. What you want to do is be there right around time or slightly after when your boss is getting there, okay? Or getting online just slightly, I'm talking like a minute or 2 minutes after when your boss or your team leaders are getting there on that call. Why do we do that? Well, you don't want to be getting there 15 minutes before your boss gets there. That's weird, unless they're getting there at some ridiculous time. You want to make sure that you are getting there right around the time, but you don't want to be, getting there, making them look bad before them. Get there right around the time they do, maybe slightly after. And then when you're leaving, figure out what time everyone else in your group is leaving. For the very, very first week or two, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, you can leave when they're leaving. But once you sort of get a feel for the rhythm and the tempo of that office, leave right around the time your boss leaves. Maybe figure out if your boss is leaving. Let's just pick a time. Your boss leaves at 5:30 every day. You want to leave at 5:29, 5:30, maybe walk out around the same time. You don't want to be doing this thing. You always hear like, be the first to be there and be the last to leave. That's okay if you're a seasoned veteran and this is kind of an environment that you feel very comfortable in. If you're doing that right out of the gate on the first week, people are going to think you're weird. Don't do that. Just find the rhythm, find the culture. Culture is key. Culture trumps everything else. Find what the culture is in that workspace and adhere to it. And then over time, figure out how you can be a little bit better and how you can distinguish yourself from your peers. Dress. Again, maybe you're going to show up your first day a little bit overdressed. That's okay. People are going to expect you to be a little bit enthusiastic. Figure out what the culture is. Again, culture eats everything else for breakfast. Figure out what the culture is and adapt to that culture. You want to make sure you fit in. You want to make sure you're not standing out. You're not trying to make people look bad. You are fitting in. You're putting your head down and you're doing the work that you were hired to do. All right. Number 3, do not ever make the mistake of thinking that anybody in your office gives a shit about your politics. They do not. Do not open your mouth and opine, editorialize, or give commentary on politics or hot button issues of the day until you are well attuned of the culture and the vibe in that office. If you stick out and start running your mouth and making pronouncements about things that you shouldn't be pronouncing about, you're going to find yourself ostracized because you might not know what the temperature of that office environment or that work environment looks like. I have seen people in my personal experience come into a work setting, an organization, start spouting political and social opinions about things that were way outside of what the culture of that office had. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have opinions that are different than your office mates or your organizational compatriots, but you want to make sure that you are not running your mouth and opining and sticking out if your values and your thoughts fall outside of the norm for that organization. People that I saw that were very vocal about their political opinions, they found themselves in an office where most people in that office didn't have the same political opinions. And over time, they weren't overtly ostracized, but they were covertly ostracized. And they found themselves on the outs. And sooner rather than later, they found themselves looking for the exit and leaving. So do not make the mistake of thinking anybody gives a crap about what you think about politics. Along the same lines, do not flirt, do not make eyes at, do not be anything other than a professional, and when it comes to being social, being a professional social person in your office. 2 drinks at company functions, They don't need you to be all sloppy and drunk, especially your first 6 months. They should barely even know you're there your first 6 months. But when you're at a company function, again, I would limit myself to 2 drinks and make sure you do not get out of control or do anything that would make you stick out as an outlier or someone that can't be trusted in that organization. For the first 6 months of your tenure at this job, whatever it is, you should keep your mouth shut. You should be a sponge, and the only thing you should do with your mouth is ask questions. You do not want to go in there acting like you understand everything, that you know the place, that you're friends or chummy with people that maybe you're not really sure what their motives are. Keep your head down, do your work, and ask as many questions as is possible. If you find yourself in a room with someone who knows more than you do about the organization, you should be asking questions of them until they tell you that they have to leave. Keep asking questions. It shows that you're engaged. It shows that you're motivated. It shows that you care. So again, your first 6 months in the job, keep your head down, do good work, learn as much as you can, add value, give more to the organization than you are taking out, and I promise you, you will be in a good spot to accelerate your career in that organization, to make yourself a valued member of your team, and to command respect of the people that you work with. That's all for now. Good luck on that new job, and we will talk next time. Thanks.